A major part of parenting teens is teaching them how to be dependent on God and independent from their mothers and fathers. And this came from our mentor, Clyde, when we were in seminary from a long time ago. He said, you're training your children to be independent from you and dependent on God. And I think when he told me that, Katie was probably 2 years old. And I really didn't have a concept of what that meant. But when they came up into teen years, when you think about helping Katie and Ryan become independent from us, what kind of sparks in your mind? How did we do that?
Well, I think it starts when they're much younger, letting them make decisions or take risks and fail.
Yeah.
That actually gives them self-confidence. And then as they grow, I think them making their faith their own is huge, because we want them less dependent on mom and dad's thoughts about them and more dependent on what does God think about me?
Right.
How's my relationship with God? And going to Him for just that constant reassurance and advice as they go through their day.
That's right. And every Christian family is sort of sorting that out. If you raise them in a Christian home and going to church, add on a Christian school, they're surrounded by a lot of Christianese.
Right.
And at some point, every Christian has to decide, is it their faith, is their own? And both of our kids had different takes on how they arrived at that, their own posturing of that. But I think it was unique to their personalities a little bit, and we're proud of them. Let's go back to what we talked about, giving them the space to take real risks where there could be a real failure. I mean, we saw our kids go through tough stuff, like they failed on things, and we were there to help them heal, but not rescue them from the pain of some of those failures. You know,
Right.
Is there one
I
that
think.
stands
Well,
out
I
to you?
think with our daughter, a lot of her pain and suffering was girl relationships.
Oh,
Especially middle school, early high school, and so and of course those painful relationships. Those times of pain and suffering is what is going to mature them and bring them closer.
I'm glad you brought up the girl thing. It seemed like there was a crisis point on her rowing team. A lot of it was social, and where we sort of watched a bit of an emotional train wreck with the girls. And
Girls can be mean.
they were tough. But I think it probably prepared her to go off to college and be in a girls' dorm in Boston. Like we were preparing her to go try new things.
Right.
And so,
I think part of it was knowing she's okay and who she is, and not reliant on other people's opinions about who she is.
Yeah, right.
I think
wow.
that was part of that maturity.